One of the reasons why somebody might buy Toolemu or any CRM is to manage the sales pipeline. It really is the classic CRM use case, and Toolemu does an excellent job of looking after your pipeline, particularly because it integrates not only with the day-to-day sales process and your website, but also with your accounting software. So when we start looking at our sales pipeline, we can first of all go and click on our opportunity screen. And here we see a list of all of the opportunities in the system. Now, the opportunity has a company name, a contact name, it has a value, it has a date that it was started and created, it has somebody that's assigned to, and it has a stage, maybe a likelihood and things like that. Toolemu also supports multiple pipelines. So if you had, for example, sales versus hire, it'd be possible for you to manage those separately. Now we can view our opportunities either in this filterable Excel style grid. We can also view them on a map, and we're also able to view them on this Kanban board type view. Now, one of the main strengths of Toolemu is its ability to centralize all opportunities, all leads, and all data. And so what I'm going to show you is how the sales pipeline works, but I'm going to start from a point that's common with a lot of people, which is the website. So if we jump into marketing, we'll go to web forms, and inside here I've made a get in touch form. And so if we click the get in touch form, what we can see is, well, first of all, it's called get in touch form. Secondly, there's a thank you page defined. And so that's the page it's going to go to after the form has been filled in. And it's related to an opportunity. Now, if I click on the view thing here, what that's going to do is preview that form, and you can see these fields that we're going to enter in. So I'm going to enter Bugs Bunny Cafe. I'll pop in Bugs Bunny. I'll do bugs at example.org. 0414 2345, put a fake number in, and let's just say coffee machine for a cafe. And we'll hit the send button. So this is a web form that you could have on your website. Your web guys could style that up for you, and then it's gone through to the thank you page. Now, I'll just go back into CRM, and I'll also point out we can also embed this on Facebook. And this is the little widget that you would put on your website. Now, if you wanted to edit that form, it's all drag and drop. We can just go and we can grab the fields that we need and simply drag them on here. So if we wanted to have, for example, we'll go on to company, and maybe we'll also grab a company description as well. We can throw that on here, save and close. And now when we view it, we've got the company description on there as well. Now, given we've already filled one of those in, let's go and have a look what we got. So I'll go to my opportunity screen here, and we can see here we have Bugs Bunny Cafe. So we'll click inside, and what it's done is it's made a company called Bugs Bunny Cafe, a contact name called Bugs Bunny, and it's made this opportunity with the detail that I just provided. The value is currently set to 0, and it's been defaulted to the inquiry stage, and it's a sales type inquiry. So this is the real base of pipeline management. If we go back now to look at our list, I could also toggle that into this Kanban type view. And if I need to, I can drag and drop these and I can move them from stage to stage. I can mark them as lost. I could say bought elsewhere, and I could say, for example, Nespresso or something like that, given we're interested in coffee machines. Hit the apply button, and that marks that lead or that opportunity as lost. Now, some of these have got little warnings on them. That indicates there's been no follow-up activity. But we'll jump into R1 here for Bugs Bunny. We'll go have a look. So the first thing that we might want to do is actually have a conversation with Mr. Bunny and find out what sort of things he likes. Now, if we do that, we can deal with it in a number of ways. So let's say we gave him a call. We can click the call button. Now, Toolemu will link up with some phone systems, and we can take the type of call and we can select an outcome. So for example, interested. And we just mark the time and the duration of the phone call. That might be all we need to do, but we could put a subject. So we could, for example, write prospecting call or follow-up call and just leave some basic notes here. And we'll just save that off. And what that will do is that will put this call in our timeline. So the timeline is just a reverse chronological list of things that have happened. And we can see here when I click on the call icon, it's showing us the details of that call. Now, I'm going to hit my note button. This is just another type of record keeping, and I can hit, instead of typing, I can hit this microphone icon. So I'll click the microphone icon, and now you're going to have to trust me on this. This is transcribing what I say. Now, this works on all of our trial accounts, works great with a headset. Now, you can't see my face or my fingers, but you've seen my typing so far in the demo, and you know I can't type this quick. But if you do sign up for a Toolemu trial, this feature is available to you, and you can see that it works. And ordinarily in the demos, I like to say something silly like, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? And it'll go and get that for me as well. And the point here, of course, is just to go and log the interaction with the customer. What does the customer have to say? What do they need? How can you help them? Do you have a service or product that can help? That's really the sum of it. So I can optionally save the audio file. Now I did make a few little sort of missteps there. It's misunderstood me a little bit. I won't bother saving it, so I'll just hit cancel and we'll just save the text. And you can see now, if I give that screen a little bit of a refresh, that the note now appears in the timeline. Now, it's also possible within here, when you're talking with a customer, to go and synchronize emails in from Outlook. You can also send text messages, you can arrange meetings, and you can send emails as well from the CRM. So you could send a follow-up email, and you could just go and type the text here, or if you've got any defined, select from a template. And that's one of the things that we do quite often inside Toolemu. We'll quite regularly get asked the same questions during a sales cycle. How do I do this? How do I that? Does it do this? Does it connect to that? And so we can build up some templates that make it easy for us to provide these sort of quick template-based answers to those questions. So if I now go very quickly and just edit this record, what we can see is our contact is Bugs, company is Bugs Bunny's Cafe. The subject is get in touch request. I might change that and I might just say, for example, new coffee machine op. And let's just say we've spoken with the Wascally Rabbit, and we'll say that we think that that opportunity is worth about $6,000. And potentially he's told us it might close by the end of November. And so what we might do is follow him up on Friday to see how he's going. Now we can fill in these fields here. You can configure this as you please, source of business. So this could be existing customer, yellow pages if you're old school, Facebook. You can go in here and you can pop in opportunity probability. So this is just your likelihood of closing the deal, address, and so on. And you don't need to fill in any of this stuff. You just can. So I've spoken with Mr. Bunny, and now I'm going to say that he's qualified, and we'll save and close. Now, I can also attach attachments here. So this could be any type of document, PDF, Excel spreadsheet, you name it, it's there. And so what we're doing really is logging and recording all of that history. We'll capture things like when it changes status. So you can see here that 11:13 p.m. I've just gone and changed that to be at the qualified stage. And you can see that my notes are also timestamped as well. So anything that happens on this opportunity all goes inside here. Now, one of the neat things about Toolemu and the integration with the accounting software is it doesn't necessarily stop at the opportunity. So I can go inside here and I can hit my quote button and I can actually go and use either a templated quote. So I might already have like a pre-rolled quote for a coffee machine that includes, coffee, machine itself, some services, or I could just go ahead and add one. And if I go and add a quote, that's going to use all of the items and all of the parts from the accounting software. And what that'll do is really make it easy for me to go and produce a quote quickly, effectively, and efficiently. One of the other neat things about Toolemu and its pipeline management system is we can actually go and have a look at our customers and where they are on the map. So this is quite a neat little feature that I'll show you. First of all, we'll go and click into companies. And now we're going to go and toggle back to the map view. And so here you can see color-coded leads, customers, opportunities on the map. And if I were to go and highlight them, we can see who they are. Now, what I'm going to do is I could go and bring up my diary. I could bring up somebody else's diary as well, and we'll go and have a look tomorrow. And you can see I've got nothing on. So let's go change that. I'm going to come into Sydney, and I'm going to start over here in Woollahra, and I'm going to go to the Queen Street Deli. Now we'll be civilized, and we'll start there about 9 o'clock in the morning. Now, The next place I want to go to is over here in Vaucluse. So while I keep that highlighted, I can mouse over and it will tell me that's 12 minutes away. Now, I think you probably would have a little bit of a lead foot or be lucky with the traffic for it to be 12 minutes away. So we'll probably just pop that in at 9:30 like it suggests and just trust that Google's got this right. Now, if I were going to come and drive down here, maybe I'm going to go into Watson's Bay. There's a couple of places in there that I might like to visit. So keeping my last meeting highlighted, I can mouse over down here in Watson's Bay, and it's saying that's 25 minutes away. So we shouldn't meet any earlier than effectively 10 o'clock. Now, I actually think I just put that in the wrong spot. While I were down here, let's say I'm not going to go here just for these couple of appointments. I'm a busy sort of guy. So what I can do is I can zoom in and then I can enable this lead search as well. And so if I were to type, we're a fake cafe company here for the purposes of this demo. So I'll type cafe, and that's going to bring up for me all of the cafes that it can find, or the top 20 at least, in this area here. So if I go down here, click here, that's the Camp Cove kiosk. So I could see inside here, I can click these things, it'll bounce them, it'll show me where they are, and then I can add that into the CRM. So give that one a little bounce, see where that is, Bell Cafe. And once I've got these things added into CRM, I think I just added that one there, still keeping that guy selected, mouse over here, they're saying it's 8 minutes away. You know what, I'll put it in at 10:30. I've got it at 10:15, sorry, move it down there, 10:30. There we go. So you can see we've got like a really neat little way of adding potential prospects into the CRM, finding them on a map, making those little prospecting trips where you're going out to see either existing clients or prospects much more useful. The other neat thing that can be done with this map is we can actually search either for existing customers. So in this case, we're in companies. So we could search for specific company names, where is that company? Or let's just say, for example, somebody says, well, hey, do you have anybody in Mayfield? So if you don't know where Mayfield is, you can start typing and it'll find Mayfield, New South Wales. And we'll click. It'll jump us straight there on the map. Now, maybe we don't have anyone in Mayfield. Maybe we do have somebody over here in Tyres Hill or Carrington or Wickham. But if you haven't memorized where every suburb is in Australia, that could be quite a hard question to answer. So by showing everything on the map, you really do help your ability to sort of visualize your customer data, your lead data, and to navigate your way around the country to go and see people in person, or to direct your customers to potential dealers, partners, or resellers. So really, really powerful feature.